What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my betting breakdown video for UFC Vegas 43. We have Miesha Tate going against Ketlen Vieira. Maybe not the best main event in the world, but I feel like there are some really fun fights scattered throughout the card. And unlike last week, I have a ton of action on this card. I think I have like 16 bets. Bet everything by Tuesday. So yeah, lots of action on this card, looking to bounce back from last week. And as always, we're going to break down this card from a betting perspective and a betting perspective only. If you do want a further, more in-depth breakdown on why I like which fighter, on why I'm betting what, I did post a full card breakdown and prediction video on Tuesday, and then also went live after the weigh-ins on Friday. So if you're not checked out both of those, go check them out. And before we get into the video, if you guys can please leave a like on the video, let's smash that like button, and then also subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. Getting really close on that 13K subs. Would be cool to get 13K in the very near future. So I say we get into it here. The bout order on this is kind of messed up, but we'll go through it anyways. We have Lupi Godinez going against Luma Lookboonmee. I do have a bet on this fight. I have like a really strong take on this fight, but I only have a unit down on Lupita Godinez, 1 unit, minus 150. Yeah, I really like Lupi here. I think it's going to be a fight where, a lot of people are down on her after her performance against Luana Carolina. What we got to remember is Luana Carolina is huge for the 125-pound weight division. Lupi went up on short notice, up a weight class. She weighed in at 121 pounds. I feel like I was one of the very few people that actually picked Carolina to upset Lupi there, and she didn't. I feel like people are really low on Lupi here after that matchup, but, Lupi's now down to her regular weight class. I have seen Lupi taken down, and, every single UFC fight she's had thus far outside of the Sam Hughes fight, but in that Sam Hughes fight, Sam Hughes actually controlled Luma against the cage for several minutes. Sam Hughes actually took a round off of Luma as well, and I feel like if Lupi comes in here with the same game plan she did against Carolina, attempting several takedowns, I feel like she can get them, and I feel like a submission could be live as well. Lupi Godinez by submission plus 500 on DraftKings Sportsbook. Earlier in the week, it was plus 850, which is crazy. I think that's kind of where I'd be looking at for a prop, but I do have 1 unit on Lupi Godinez, minus 150 there. Next, we have Luana Pinheiro going against Sam Hughes. I do have a bet on this fight as well. I have a bet on every single fight outside of one of them. So the bet I have here is going to be the fight doesn't go to decision. I have 1 unit on it, and I got it at plus 100. The reason being is we take a look at Pinheiro. She's a finisher. She's not seen the second round in like 7 fights. As she gets in and she gets out, I think she has a really good chance of finishing Sam Hughes. If she does not finish Sam Hughes, I actually have some concerns about her even winning the fight. I mean, we've seen Pinheiro, once she does get into the second round, she slows down a ton. Both fighters are actually really good finishers. 78% finish rate by Pinheiro, 80% by Hughes. I think they both combined for like 2 decision wins in their careers. We see that Sam Hughes has been finished in 2 or 3 losses. Yeah, so I think a finish is decent here. Plus money, willing to take a shot. 1 unit on that. Fight doesn't go. All right, next we have Pat Sabatini going against Tucker Lutz. It looks like Tucker Lutz is one of the dogs of the week. Looks like everybody's playing him, which I don't feel great about that, but I do feel great about beating some line movement here. I got Tucker Lutz earlier in the week at plus 136. He is now around like the plus 100 mark, and I do have 1 unit on him. And yeah, it's a very, very close fight. Obviously, if it hits the mat, Pat Sabatini is going to have a massive advantage, but I do feel like Tucker Lutz is the better striker here. I love his volume. I love his pressure. He has a wrestling background. Both guys do, but I feel like if Tucker Lutz comes in here, he fights smart, stuffs takedowns, keeps on the feet. I feel like it is a very, very winnable fight. So I saw a lot of value on the plus 136. He's now plus 100. Took a shot on Tucker Lutz there. Tucker Lutz there at plus 136. Moving on, Sean Soriano, Shalion Nurdenbeke. And yeah, so I took a shot on Shalion here. This is probably the biggest dog I've ever picked outright. I got him at plus 245 and got a half a unit on him. There's actually been some money coming back in on the Shalion side, and rightfully so. There's no reason Sean Soriano should be a minus 300 favorite against anybody. The thing is, Shalion, he's not good. He really is not good, but he has a path to victory here, and the path to victory is the glaring weakness in Sean Soriano's game, and that is the takedown defense, and that is the submission defense. Sean Soriano has been submitted 5 times. He's 0-4 in the UFC. All 4 of those losses have to deal with, somebody taking him down, and 3 of those 4 losses, he's got submitted in them, and what does Shalion do? He's a solid wrestler. Apparently, he's a black belt in BJJ. I don't know how legit that black belt is, but he has a black belt nonetheless. So yeah, I took a big dog shot here. Only a half a unit. Only a half unit because I know Shalion he's not good, but the path to victory is certainly there. And at plus 245, I got to take a little shot there. What I also did was I put 1 unit on the fight doesn't go, or the under 2.5 rounds, plus 110, 1 unit on that. The reason being, I think Sean Soriano, if he does win, I think it's going to be a very early knockout. He's going to have a massive striking advantage. If he does not get that early knockout, I think Sean Leon's very live for a submission. I saw submission props out there for Sean Leon earlier in the week at like plus 1,600. It's now down to like plus 900. Even then, I don't think that's like a terrible shot, but yep, half a unit on Sean Leon for me, and then a 1 unit on the under 2.5 rounds there, plus 110. I like both those shots there. Next, we have Rani Yahya going against Kyung Ho Kong. Yeah, I have the over 2.5 rounds here. I have 1.5 units on it, and it is sitting at minus 146. And yeah, I don't really see a finish here outside of like a Rani Yahya early submission that could happen, but Kyung Ho Kong has not been submitted in over 10 years. Kyung Ho Kong on the flip side, he's not much of a knockout guy. When he does win, it typically is by submission. I don't see him submitting Rani Yahya. If anything, maybe like a Kyung Ho Kong, like a 3rd round finish, but even then, like I said, he doesn't possess a ton of power. So I do see this going to decision. I slightly lean Kong by decision, which is plus 200, but I did take the over 2.5 rounds, minus 146, 1.5 units. To kind of cover both sides there. Next, we have Natan Levy going against Rafa Garcia. This is the only fight on the card where I don't have a bet on it, so, not much to say here. I think it's a fight where I'm just going to sit back and watch it. I was looking to, fade Natan Levy. I was looking to potentially, maybe get a buy low spot on Rafa Garcia. People are very low on him after his last performance, but then I go into taping Levy, and I'm very impressed. He's very well-rounded, solid striking, very solid grappling, so I'm going to sit back and watch Natan Levy for the pick, but there's not really a bet I'd look at. Next, we have Fares Ziam going against Terrence McKinney, and you guys already know what I have here. I have the fight, or I have the under 2.5 rounds, 1.5 units, minus 135. Love that line. Beat a lot of line move there. It is now minus 185, which I still think that is very solid. Both guys are finishers. I know we take a look at Fares Ziam. He's had 3 UFC fights. He's been to decision in all of them, but you look outside of the UFC, this guy's a finisher, a 75% finish rate, and McKinney is one of those guys who's kill or be killed. This guy's never seen the scorecards. 100% finish rate for, 100% finish rate against, been finished in all of his losses. So yeah, I think if McKinney wins, it's going to be an early finish. I think if McKinney does not get Ziam out of there, he probably gets finished in his own right later in the fight. So yeah, give me the under 2.5 rounds. I think the fight doesn't go to decision. Minus 240 is a solid parlay piece as well. Next, we have Cody Durden going against Iori. We have Cody Durden, who is minus 160, and then Iori Gulang is plus 140 here. See, I'm very tempted on the dog. I think Iori, he's solid. I've looked into this fight I spent like 2 hours taping this fight. I watched every single fight I could of Durden, every single fight I could of Iori, and I think I'm just going to pass here. The reason being is Durden's striking is a lot better than I thought, and Iori's striking defense is very, very bad. I have some question marks about Iori and his takedown defense as well. It looks good. He has been taken down, though. His get-up game looks good, but I think if Durden does get him down, a submission could happen. Iori has been submitted a massive 3 times. What I took here was the fight doesn't go to decision. I got it at plus 150, and I have half a unit on that. The reason being is both guys are finishers, especially Cody Durden. You take a look at him, a 90% finish rate. He's only been to decision 2 times. He has 1 decision win, 1 decision loss. Cody Durden also has 2 submission losses as well. I feel like Cody Durden's going to be very live early for a finish. If he does not get that early finish, I say Iori taking over and finishing him late. Iori has a ton of power in his hands, and Cody Durden has slowed down as the fight goes on. So yeah, give me the fight doesn't go plus 150. It's now plus 140. I don't hate that shot there, but again, really was tempted on the dog and Iori. Moving up, we have Taila Santos going against Joanne Calderwood. This is my biggest bet of the night. I have Taila Santos 3 units, minus 290. I'm probably going to be the only one out there to say that this line is this line's accurate, at least where I got it. I thought it was accurate, but yeah, minus 355. It could be getting a little bit wide at this point, but I really like this matchup for Taila Santos here. You take a look at Joanne Calderwood. 63% takedown defense. Taila Santos is completing takedowns at like almost a 90% accuracy, which you got to factor in the level of competition, but still, that is phenomenal there. I think on the feet, it's close. I do favor Calderwood's volume, but, Santos is going to be landing the much harder shots. I think if Santos comes in here with the smart game plan of, getting this fight down to the mat early and often, I think she makes it look easy, and I think the price tag will look warranted as well. So give me Santos here. If you do like Joanne Calderwood, decision plus 350. I also saw the decision prop. I think it was on FanDuel Sportsbook at like plus 500. So yeah, if you like Calderwood, I think a decision prop is the way to go. Adrian Yanez, Davey Grant, this is my second biggest play of the night. I have 2.5 units on Adrian Yanez minus 250. A lot of people are doing that Yanez Santos parlay. I do like that, but I did play him straight here. So Yanez, he's now minus 310, which, yeah, that's getting a little wide. Beat some line movement there for sure. But, yeah, I really like the spot for Yanez. I guess the only concern I had initially was how good is Yanez's takedown defense. Went back and watched the tape. Looks very good. Saw him against Miles Johns. Was able to stuff a lot of takedowns. When he did get taken down, he was able to pop back up for the most part. So on the feed, for me, it's Yanez all day, and outside of like a Grant knockout, which it could happen, but Yanez has never been knocked out. Seems very tough. Give me Yanez here to win. Yanez probably by knockout, which is minus 105, but I'd probably take the inside the distance if I was to play anything in terms of a prop, because David Grant has been submitted 4 times. So give me Yanez, though, for the win. Next, we have Sean Brady going against Michael Chiesa. Yeah, this is probably the toughest fight on the card to call, for me at least. I know a lot of people are really confident in Sean Brady, and I get why. This guy's undefeated. We've never seen him lose, and typically when we've never seen these fighters lose, you know, how do they lose? And I really don't know. I have a ton of question marks on the Sean Brady side. We've never seen him, taken down. I went back and watched every fight I could. I've never seen Sean Brady taken down. I've never seen him much off his back. I don't know how good his get-up game is. I don't know how good he is off his back. And there's just a ton of question marks, especially laying at, minus 160 on Sean Brady here, who's extremely unproven. I mean, his best win is probably Jake Matthews, and before that, he fought Christian Aguilera, whereas Michael Chiesa, I mean, he's been fighting guys like Vicente Luque, submitting guys like Benil Dariush. He's fighting guys like Jorge Masvidal, like guys like that throughout his career. Neil Magny just had a main event against Neil Magny just a year ago, just about. So, this is an interesting fight because I think the line's off for sure. I think Sean Brady absolutely could win. I've been flipping back and forth on my pick, but I think I'm just going to take the value shot on Michael Chiesa here. I have 1 unit on Michael Chiesa plus 140. It's kind of like Uncle Weezy said it on the Sunday show with us. He said it's a show me spot. I mean, there's a lot of question marks on Sean Brady. Is he this level? Is he a top 10 fighter? I don't know, but we're going to find out here. We're going to find out how his takedown defense is against a guy not named Court McGee. We're going to find out about his get-up game. We're going to find out a lot in this spot, so why not take the plus 140 shot on Michael Chiesa there? With that said, I think if Sean Brady does win, it's going to be by submission. Chiesa's been submitted 4 times, and Sean Brady's a legit black belt. So what I also did was I took a 0.25 unit stab on Sean Brady to win by submission at plus 400. So that means if Sean Brady does win by submission, I break even, and if Michael Chiesa wins outright, then I go up a little bit over a unit. So yeah, I kind of like how I played it there, kind of playing it both sides. But as far as a pick goes, like it's tough. It's a very close fight. But in a very close fight, why not take the plus money there? Next, we have Miesha Tate going against Ketlen Vieira. Pretty simple fight to break down. I think Vieira is going to have success early. I think Tate's going to have success late. We've seen Vieira slow down massively in 3-round fights. She's never been in a 5-round fight where Miesha Tate has. I see Vieira winning the first round, 2 rounds, maybe 2.5 rounds, 3 rounds even. But as the fight goes on, I do see her slowing down. What I did was I took a quarter unit shot on Miesha Tate rounds 3, 4, and 5. Round 3 plus 2,600, round 4 plus 2,800, and then round 5 plus 3,500. Quarter unit on all 3. I think Tate does finish this fight late after Vieira does slow down, because she does in 3-round fights. So with 5 rounds, I'm going to say Tate gets it done late, and if one of those hit, it's going to be a great night. So those are kind of my bets for this week. You can follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers, Instagram, DFS by the numbers. I'll be posting my bets there as always for free. If you do want early access to my bets, as always, the Patreon is in the description there, and I'll also be coming out with my website sometime in January. So quickly, straight bets here. Michael Chiesa 1 unit plus 140. Tyler Santos 3 units minus 290. Yanez 2.5 units minus 250. Tucker Lutz 1 unit plus 136. Lupe Cadenas 1 unit minus 150. Shalion Nurdenbeke half a unit plus 245. The props, Ronnie Yaya Kung Ho Kong over 2.5 rounds minus 146, 1.5 units. McKenny Farzheim under 2.5 rounds 1.5 units minus 135. Shalion versus Sean Soriano under 2.5 rounds plus 110, 1 unit. Miesha Tate wins in rounds 3, 4, or 5. Quarter unit on all 3 of those. Durden, Iori Kuling, fight doesn't go to decision, plus 150, half a unit. Brady wins by submission plus 400 quarter unit. And then Sam Hughes, Luana Pinheiro, fight doesn't go to decision, half a unit plus 100. Tons and tons of action this week. Good luck to you all. Let's make some money, looking to bounce back, looking to make some money here. So yeah, good luck, guys. Leave a like on your way out, and we'll talk to you very soon.